Welcome to Tech This Way.
Okay, Pui Mun,
Okay. Hi.
thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. It's a very curious history that you have, right? So from lawyer to suddenly setting up a startup for the construction industry. Okay, so fascinated to see how your journey has been.
Thank you. It's actually an interesting things that I would say it's quite interesting because I didn't think that I would be here today.
Okay.
When I was a lawyer, I studied in UK.
Right.
So in UK, you know those masale.
You were in Liverpool.
Yes, I was at Liverpool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at Liverpool. So you know those masale, the way they teach you, everything needs to be organized. They are all very organized. And then I came back to Malaysia. I did my pupillage in Pui Mun. It's a reputable law firm.
Yeah.
In Pui Mun, the training is also everything must be very clear. You need to file everything properly.
Yeah.
And then I left after my pupillage, after I've been called to the bar, and I
Right.
went to my family business to work,
Ah,
construction business.
I see. So that's where the link is lah.
Yes.
So
My dad is a contractor.
Your dad is a contractor.
Yeah, he has been a contractor for close to 30 years now.
Okay.
20 always, 30 years now.
Right.
Yeah, and it's messy.
So
It's
why
very
did
messy.
you go back to your family business? That was always the plan?
No,
Or?
never. Basically, always wanted to be a lawyer.
Right.
Always loved law. That basically say, why don't you come in and take a look? And that take a look turned out to be a long-term thing.
Right. Right.
It's like kids like us. It's like second generations, right? We can't run away from our family. And Asian culture, right? The family ties is in you.
Yeah.
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 No matter how old you grow, you are still a kid in front of them.
I'm assuming that growing up as well, you were surrounded by your dad's business in a way lah. Were you involved?
I
or what?
grew up practically in the business. Like every weekend, I will be helping. My first job in the company was when I was 15.
Right.
During the summer, not the summer break, during the break, after you did your PMR.
Okay.
Last time got PMR.
Yeah.
Then first job was to wash the toilet. Clean
Okay.
toilet. I'm the cleaner.
What? It's one of the construction sites.
No, it's in the HQ. So
I see.
Yeah, because that say by cleaning toilet you get to be surrounded by employee, so you get to understand the employee better. I don't believe in that thing.
Did they know that this is the boss's daughter cleaning the toilets or?
I think they do lah. They know. Guess maybe they don't, because even after I joined my dad's company, we didn't announce that I'm my father's daughter at site. So there was this one project I handled in IJM. No one knows that I'm my dad's daughter until the project finishes.
Right.
Yeah.
So take us back to that, right? So you came back. So you did your law, right? You went to the bar, and then became a lawyer for a couple of years.
No, I didn't practice.
Oh, you didn't practice at all? Okay.
I finished my pupillage, and then that say, why don't you just come and take a look of the company?
Oh, I see. Right after. Okay.
So I was struggling whether I should continue in law or help him take a look. That time he was having more projects. Companies are booming. So
When was this?
7 years back.
Okay.
7 years back. So that was 7 years back. 2012.
12, 13.
13, yeah, 2012 or 13.
I'm just trying to
roughly that.
remember. So those days, okay lah.
Those days, no
Things were
WhatsApp
okay.
yet.
Was still
WhatsApp
alright.
just came out.
Yeah.
WhatsApp just came out. So
But the industry was okay lah at the time. Yeah.
industry was very good. It was booming. The company is getting more projects that they can handle. It's not like now.
Right.
There's this period of, I call it a golden period, where you see a lot of buildings just keep on mushrooming. And that was
What kind of development was your dad into?
my dad is we started as fire contractors and then spin off to plumbing. And then now, after I joined the company, I opened another department, infra.
Okay.
So we handle infrastructure work, anything that relates to water.
Oh, okay.
So like sewage pipe, Shabas pipe, STP, road as well, infra, the road, the drainage. That was my forte lah, infra. And then firefighting and also plumbing. And yeah, of course you learn all the tricks lah.
So you went in to look-see. Then what did you do?
The look-see, I got my first project. If you go to Cyberjaya now, Sarjana Putra, right, there's this, pass by the toll, there's 2 water tank.
Okay.
One of the tank is my project, my first project.
Right.
That was 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. Yeah. So during that time, first day of work, that gave me a pile of drawing, quite thick. A pile of drawing, a pen, and a ruler.
Okay.
A pencil and a ruler. So he basically said, this is your project. It's new. We had kick-off meeting last week, and you are going to be the project coordinator for this project. You handle it on your own. And these are your subcons. If you don't understand anything, you ask your foreman.
Right.
Which is, the foreman has been in the company for quite some time.
So trusted lah.
Yeah, trusted. First day of work, kena con by Indonesian workers.
Okay. What happened?
Went to site. First day, actually you're not. That's that time we don't understand the health and safety, and then I don't understand that you need to have a proper material calculations. So workers say anything, you just treat it as correct. So that time
trust them lah, you think?
Yeah, and then I got con lah. Got con and then over ordered the material. First day of work. Came back. My dad said you have to do proper calculation on your own. That time I got no idea how to count rebar, basi, and also formwork. Formwork is basically the papan that you use in order for you to concrete.
Okay.
Because it's RC structure, right? You build a water tank. Piling is done by my subcon. That was before me. Then I came in already. Then I have to learn how to calculate rebar, concrete. And then apparently you got a lot of different tests. How do you know which grade of concrete? And then I had to take up a course lah. So I took a distance learning online course, University of Michigan. I did civil engineering. So I learned all the cube tests. What is cube test?
So you were doing that on the job lah, while you were running a project.
I work 24 hours basically. So I learned how, now I'm so good at calculating rebar, concrete. I know what are different grade, what is a special mix, all the special design, or everything lah.
Yeah.
That is how you learn.
So then the project
lost money.
And that, right?
I lost money with the project.
Okay.
First project we lost close to 7-figure. Yes. That time of course you fresh grad, what do you expect? You just dump me a project.
But I guess I mean your dad knew that was a potential to happen also lah, right?
My dad maybe the way he teach is quite unique lah. He said you learn by doing. He said you learn by doing. Then I would just do, and I lost him money. I don't know whether he knows but I know because in the end of the project I actually did a calculations. I want to show off. I want to show him that you know how much money I make you.
And then suddenly
I realized we lost money. Diam lah. I don't know whether he knows or not. I think he of course you have financial report, you should know lah.
Yeah. Then what happened?
Then I handle more projects. When I handle more projects, the moment I understand the process, I actually realize that business is business, right? You need to make money in business. Construction business is, how do you know whether you make money or you do not make money? I asked my dad. He says based on gut feeling. Then I'm like, what do you mean based on gut feeling? He said, my head, I know lah.
Roughly, I know the cost, roughly how much they're paying me, so I roughly know I make money.
Roughly, I know I make money.
Maybe after 30 years, you can do it lah.
I don't think so. So I don't believe in him. I never believed it in anything he said. Because everything he tells me turned out to be not true. After I do all the comparison. I'm being trained as a lawyer, so part of the training is you have to do due diligence. Due diligence basically means you have to check each and every figures, plug it in. So the more projects I handle, the more I am being tasked to come up with a financial report, a project financial report. So to know that whether you're making or losing money. Then the strongest impact was I do not know whether the material I buy is the best rate. I don't know whether the material I buy is correct. I don't know whether the material I buy is delivered to site.
Okay, so I'm not from the construction industry, right? So I'm thinking, how can that even happen, right? Of course you would compare prices. Of course you will check the materials being sent. So why is it Why does that happen in that industry?
Construction is very unique. For instance, if you want to give example, if you want to build your own house, right? You have a plot of land, you want to build your own house. So this house, right, is built by, you only hire one main con, or you hire architect will engage one main con.
Okay.
So this main con, he will do pao ka liao. But he doesn't do the work himself.
Right.
He will sub out the work to, let's say, a drain contractor, a window contractor, and a painting contractor. So in terms of material that he needs to buy, right, he will need to make sure this particular one house material, he will have to buy all the material in at once for a good price, right?
Yeah.
But now imagine you have to, so it's easy when you have one project. If it's double story, you make sure the first material you buy is for level 1. That level 1 complete ready, only you bring in material for level 2.
Okay.
So it's always a sequence of work. So it's always piling go first, and then only you build your floor, and then only you go up to the wall. So material have to come in stages.
Right.
Imagine now, instead of 1 houses, right, you have to monitor 1,000 houses. So the sequence will be very messy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And who determine what material come next? It's the people working at site. But how does site order material? They have to rely on the contractor's purchaser, which is the purchaser sits in HQ. HQ will never know whether material already delivered or not. She will order according to what site order,
Yeah.
and her job is done.
Right.
So what happens is when site will call the purchaser and go, hey, where's my material? Then the purchaser will then call the supplier to check, hey, bro, where's my material? Then the supplier will then call to the manufacturer to check.
So why isn't the purchaser checking that materials are being sent?
Because it's not her job.
Oh, it's just the way it is.
To her, her job stops the moment she issue PO. She will not be able to know whether materials does sampai site or haven't sampai site. How would she know? She's not working at site.
Okay.
She will only know when something goes wrong.
Right.
She will never know when something is going right.
And in the industry, nobody's that proactive to go and follow up with the supplier, or supplier will have to have a DO, and then it goes back to
with experience. If your foreman is good, your supervisor is good, or your project manager is good, they will actually call to the supplier directly to ask, hey, where's my material? But sometimes, let's say one contractors, you have 10 projects, you're handling 10 projects, or you handle 2 big ones. You have different phases. There are a lot of things going on.
So it's a mess lah, basically.
Super messy.
Okay.
It's just
So you
very
went
messy.
into this industry with all that.
I went into
mess
this
going on,
industry, I figure out it's very messy. Initially, I thought my dad is incompetent. Sorry, Dad. I thought my dad is incompetent.
How come you don't know, right?
Yeah, Dad will always say you need to have a project master list. You need to have a material list so that you know the moment you order, how much is delivered, you will know. The question is, who is going to compile the list? Site people are very busy with site. And then compiling of the list take time. It's all manual. You imagine you buy material, you buy, let's say, 1,000 meter cube of concrete. The concrete doesn't deliver one shot.
Yeah.
The concrete will deliver maybe over a period of 3 to 6 months. Then you have a stack of delivery orders. In order for you to know how much I've delivered, you need to calculate each and every delivery orders.
Yeah.
Whose job is it? Some big company, they will hire an admin.
Somebody should be there, but obviously not.
Yeah, I always ask my client now, whose job to make sure you are not losing money? Serious.
Yeah.
No one's job. The employee will think it's the director's job. The director will think it's the employee's job. Until today, site and office, they always fight. Because site, right, they want material. To them, controlling material is not top priority. To them, work progress is the most important thing. You don't give me material, how do I work?
Yeah.
But office, they will say, hey, over budget already, you better go and check. Boss will scold me. When boss is in office, right, boss always scold who? Purchaser ma. Hey, why over budget? The entire construction is why over budget? No answer one.
Right.
So every year the
So
boss...
there's a lot of leakage lah. Some in between lah, right?
Yes, leakages, a lot. How serious is the problem? There's a research in 2016. It's a local research. For a project, 100 million project, the material that you waste can build another 100 houses.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how serious.
So, and when it's waste, is it always on purpose, meaning, you know, people are siphoning off some bricks, go another side,
Of course,
and those kind of things.
part of it. Generally, sites, there are a lot of things going on. For instance, I can buy concrete with 50 ringgit per meter cube. Market price is 200 plus.
You mean I can just go and then there'll be somebody at the side who will sell it to me on the side lah?
The driver of the concrete will sell to me at 50 ringgit. But then again, whose cost? Who is paying for the
correct.
concrete? There are a lot of things going on. And then, mysteriously, when I'm working at site, my formwork always got missing one.
Your what?
My formwork, basically my papan.
Right.
My papan, you need to use papan to do concrete work.
Okay.
The papan will go missing one. And then your labor will come and tell you if your labor head is very close to you. He will tell you, boss, no need to buy the papan, I will handle for you.
So somehow he'll get it from somewhere lah,
Yes.
or recover, or maybe some other side.
Usually the site is big. It's not small. When you handle
see.
projects 7-8 figures, it's huge.
Right.
So it's not just one contractors working inside.
see.
At any one point you have 70 or 80 contractors working at one project site. So a lot of things hanky-panky going on one. Serious.
So, how did you then plan to solve it all with speed brick?
I started with imagination.
So how many years into it before you started this?
Oh, after 3 months of working in my desk office, I written a 69 pages proposal.
Right.
After 3 months working in my dad's company, handling the first project, I written a 69 pages proposal from A to Z. From A, I imagine if I'm an admin, you need to create a project. You have all the calendar, so you know what's going on with one glance. So that was an imagination. And then in terms of material, I want a place where everyone knows what is ordered, everyone knows what is delivered, everyone knows whether we are wasting money or how much money we are saving. That was the dream lah. And it also go into financial. Basically, it's a platform for everyone. 69 pages of proposal. It has to do a proper. We have a board of directors, so I have to do a proper presentations with Excel spreadsheets. How much time you can save, deliverables lah, and also presentation slides. What they did was they took the proposal, flip it, and threw it away.
Now go back to work.
They threw it away, and to them it's that, why is this young lady come to tell us with 20-30 years of experience how to do work?
Yeah.
How to do work. Because I am the boss, I know best. That was their mindset during that time. And that time, no WhatsApp yet. We have one director that says, do not message me. You know, SMS last time. Do not message me. If you want to talk to me, you picked up your phone and call me. No WhatsApp yet, ma. Then WhatsApp came. Then we started introducing WhatsApp group.
Right.
Last time is a hype thing lah. 6-7 years ago, you started creating WhatsApp group. You make all your in a group. Then he said, don't add me in a group. I am the director. You report to me. You give me a report.
Wow, seriously old school, huh?
Very old school. Very old school. I suspect all the directors are the same lah.
Yeah.
Then now the directors are the one that says don't WhatsApp me. He WhatsApp me every day now.
Yeah.
So that was the beginning of the idea. My own company doesn't believe in this. I then ask the questions whether this is a genuine problem in my father's company or is a problem in the market. Then what I did was I then handled a few other projects. Of course, when you work at site, I grew up at site basically. You work at site, you also get to know other contractors. Then you talk to other contractors. I spoke to around 200 contractors. I did something called data validations. So I it's a Q&A lah. So I ask questions. I pull up my phone recorders to ask, hey, so do you know how much material you have now? Do you know your project is making money or not? Do you know after project finish how much material you are bringing back to the office? I basically interview 200 of them. Then I realized it's actually a very serious problem. It's not
your dad's problem.
Not my dad's problem. It's not just then, because I interview so many people, everyone company is the same. Then I was like, it's impossible, because you know the way I was being educated in UK, everything is very organized. And then I then start doing research in this field, material management, supply chain management. Then I realized it's not just a Malaysian problem. It's a global problem. Because later on, my dad had been taking up international projects. So we work with Korean contractors and also Japanese contractors and Chinese contractors. Then I realized they are all the same.
Right.
Regardless of nations, they are all the same.
Okay.
The research tell me that material management, there are 136 reasons for how to waste money in a construction projects. During that time when I was doing the research,
Right.
one of the thing is supply chain management.
Mm.
It's a very big problem, and we're looking at, if you look at the material you can waste, right, is between 10 to 26%
Wow.
per project. And
That's huge. That's like the whole margin of the project.
yes. If your project, and you need material to build, so let's say 100% is your project value, right? Depending on your trade, you need up to 60 to 70% project value to buy your material. If you're wasting 20, let's say minimum you waste 10%, that itself is a huge money already. So I then start doing experiments in my dad's company. The biggest project that I was handling, an 8 figures project, it was in Jalan Duta. I handled all the infra work, the drainage, roadside drain and main drain, and sewerage as well, pump house as well. So and then I started doing experiments. That project, I save in terms of material by negotiating, by properly managing the material. We save 7 figures just by material management.
Right. But when you say the experimenting, you were experimenting with the system or with the way of
Manual
working?
process.
Okay.
I basically changed my company manual process after many resistance. How site order material now, most of the time, the proper process is you need to have something called material request form. This material request form, before you even have this material request form, you must have a material budget. How much do you need to buy for this project? You need to have something called a budget. This is very basic. But in construction companies, no one can come up with a budget. Imagine you are building a 50 stories building. How can you come up with a budget? Of course, now we have BIM software. Last time we have BIM. So it's based on manual calculations. You have a stack of construction drawing. And then your QS will start to calculate this rebar is how many meter. And then they have to multiply and all the overlapping. So this project, I will need to buy how many tons of rebar.
How long ago are you talking about?
6-7 years ago.
So 6-7 years ago is not that long ago.
No. Actually, until today, most companies are still the same. It's very relevant, whatever I'm sharing today.
So it's like, at best, is using an Excel to put everything together.
They only have Excel. What other system do you have in the market?
So that's the other thing. So in the market, even for this industry, there isn't even that much solutions that companies can use.
Contractors, a bit difficult. Contractors, in terms of management of a project, right, there are 2 types. One is project management, which is a deadline, project deliveries, scheduling. That's one chunk. Another chunk is how you manage your financial cash flow, your project. The management side of the project, like your material, your subcontractors, and your main contracts, how your client pay you. This chunk is not being monitored properly. In the market right now, we have a lot of QS software. QS software basically help you to calculate when you put the drawing in, even the beam is the same. When I put a 3D drawing or 2D drawing, it will automatically help me to calculate how much material I need for this project. This is raw data. So what happened is this data will be calculated by the QS. So I have a budget calculated by QS, 100%. Then where does this data stored at? At the QS computer, a hard copy in the director's table, or a copy in the purchaser's laptop. Site people don't usually get a copy. Who orders material?
Not them, so they don't care.
Site people order the material, but do they refer to the list to order? Only on important things like tiles, architecture stuff,
right,
like doors, how many numbers of doors. But most of the time when they order based on construction drawing, or based on site, and then construction site is alive. Your budget is based on construction drawing, revision 0. But when you finish your project, you may have construction drawing revision 10 or 20. So who handle all the changes? Who tell you your budget have already changed? Today you don't know
Okay.
And construction is always very fast. We are looking at fast. Some of my clients right now, 1 week one story. It's very fast.
1 week, one story. Wow. Okay.
1 week, one story. So everything is rushed. So whose job is it to do data entry to compare back with the material request
The
form?
actuals, yeah.
Yeah, how much material you have already ordered. So the best system that they have right now is accounting software. When they buy material, you have to key into accounting software to create a purchase order. So they will rely on the purchase order. Some company with better system, they will link their PO with the invoice.
Right.
Then they will be able to match how much material I have already delivered as well, because you have to put in something called grid receive notes. Some lousy company, they will do manual PO issuance with Excel. You don't have that record lah. So manual difficult lah. Manual.
Yeah. So you did your own project, you experimented, you did save some money. So how then did speed break appear?
Oh, after they threw away my 69 pages of proposal, I took 1 year to understand. I actually took their advice. My dad said, you are trying to change everything I have built for the past 20 years, 30 years. Who are you to tell me I'm not good enough? You must first get buy-in from everyone if you want to talk about change. Today, you are here just to learn. I was quite arrogant. So I did extra. I always go towards the extra miles. I tell him, based on the research I have, we need to have a process in a company where you have to create a material request form. They have something, a form where when you want to buy material, you have to fill it in. But you have to use your pen and paper to write. So what I did was I standardized it. I actually number the material request form. So you have request number 1 to number 10. Because today, right, when they fill up the form, they put it on the purchasers table. How do I know whether purchaser already processed it or not? I don't know.
Yeah.
So what happened during the company was, during that time was, you miss out ordering. When you need to use the material, you call the purchaser. Purchaser say, no, I didn't receive it. Then there's fight. The frictions. So I came out with a standard form. Instead of calling and WhatsApping or emailing, you must fill in the form. And then the form must be numbered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after the form is numbered, every time when PO is issued, PO and the form must be stapled together so that we can refer, this is the site request, this is the PO request. And the PO must do pricing comparison, which is the 3 different prices, ISO requirement, right? Requirement. Then when material delivered at site within 7 days must bring back the delivery order. They never do. Until today also very difficult because site people, they're very busy. They took the DO, right? It become they will keep it in their car, they will keep it in the site office. If main con easy, main con got site office gun. If subcon, they don't have site office gun. So they will keep it in the car lah. Then wash car or you know. Sometimes go makan at canteen, want to bring back it, or sometimes they don't have a car, they sit motorbike, right? They put it in front of the bucket, raining, how?
Yeah.
So
and it's not something that not so important to them anyway, right?
Yeah, I really have a material. Then just by fixing the manual process in a company is still not enough. I actually made the purchaser, I came out with a master list where I say each material request you must update in the system, Google spreadsheets. You must update in the Google spreadsheets first. Then only you issue a PO. So what you do is you have a budget, material requests, how much, you ordered how much, deliver how much, balance how much in one glance. It's an A3 size. Sometimes it can, depending on the projects, it can go up to 10, 20 pages. So it become a requirement. Then I realized no one follow one. First month, second month, maybe they do lah. Third month onwards, everyone go back to this old method. Yeah, because manual is very hard. Then after 1 year of experimenting, asking people, I then think I still believe that every day when I wake up, I still think the idea is good. It's something worth pursuing. Then I spend another year looking for my business partner. Not a business partner, looking for tech guy. No money ma. Right. That of course he wouldn't invest lah. Many people think that my dad sponsored this or the company sponsored this. Actually no, we bootstrapped it all the way.
But you were passionate enough to say you need to do this lah, because there's so much opportunity, or What was driving you to set this up? You could have just continued working with your dad and that's it, right?
I did research. I love to do research. I'm a master degree holder. I just like researching.
Right.
So I researched that there's no system that is handling material management. If you did do research in the entire world now, right, the biggest problems, right, the most money you can save is actually on material management.
And yet there wasn't a solution for it.
No, there's
Okay.
no solutions. Now maybe there is. During that time, even you have a solution, it's too expensive.
All right.
It's
And then with the old school uncles running construction, no way you're gonna spend money on the system like that.
when I started, right, after I found my business partner, we went to the government, we went to Cradle, we start pitching. I went pitch at Y Combinator. No one understand what I was talking about. No one, they couldn't imagine. Of course, during the time you were young, you don't know how to pitch. That's on me. But laymen they don't understand this significant chunk of the problem. Even when I was looking for my tech guy, right, tech people, they would just say, oh, you just build, I will just build whatever you want me to build.
Yep.
Because you know best, ma. Then I know that tech guy is not suitable
Not
to
your
be
partner
my,
lah.
yeah. My current tech guy, his name is Louis. He's my business partner. Mensa member, very high IQ, 158.
Genius.
Very smart. The first thing he told me is, I can't build A to Z. The dream is huge, A to Z. He then asked a lot of questions. We had close to 10-20 meetings before I confirmed that he's the person that I want.
Sorry, so when was this and how did you go about looking for somebody?
5 years ago, 6 years ago. Almost a year. So after my dad threw away the one about I threw away the proposal, I started doing interview and I started looking for business partners. I said if actually the time was a bit rebel lah. The intention is to prove to the company that I can be someone or something. That was the intention. So. But now the intention changes. The significance of the problem is the question then changed to how I can help the industry. How can we help in these problems? Major things that I noticed is that tech people do not understand constructions. Construction is too complex. And contractors they don't understand how to articulate what they want, and they do not know whether this is the correct method. Even when they know what they want, they do not know how to get to what they want. So that is a problem. There's a puzzle that we try to fix together. So my tech guy, Louis, we took 8 months to design, understand the problem, come out with a manual process and then test it manually first. Only we started building. I was forced to draw out with pen and paper. After you click this button, what do you see? After you click that button, what do you see? Where would the data go? So I have to learn how to design UI UX. Then now I'm quite good at doing product requirement. It's a process. Yeah.
So at the start, you obviously saw all these problems, right? How did you decide, okay, so where do you even start? Which part of the problem do you want to tackle first?
There are 136 challenges in a construction companies, big and small. The questions that we eliminate is which problem market already have a solutions? Which markets can help the contractors the most? Which one have the most impact? We decided you spend 70% of your money to buy material, and you don't have a proper method to monitor your material yet. So that problem is worth it to spend our life in researching. Yeah. So we took this route and it became a very long route.
Okay, so you found your right partner. So both of you started developing the platform. Then what happened?
First version was quite shitty.
Who was using it? The first version?
No one.
Okay.
First version, I drew it out. I asked my partner to build it. When I look at the first version, I want to cry. Me and my partner, we fight a lot in a good way.
Right.
I started explaining to him that you do not understand contractors at all. You don't understand what you are building at all.
Right.
This is a piece of shit. And then my business partner he then have to explain to me, us layman we don't understand how technology works. Technology is basically 1 + 1 = 2. But what I wanted is, I want to see 3. You give me 3, I don't care the back end. And he have to explain how tech works lah. Then I have to took up a course again about technology. I actually... One thing is that we like to do personal development, so we never stop learning. First version sucks. We have to scrap the whole thing. Rebuild. So we took 1.5 years to rebuild it. And then we started to go to clients. Of course, the first company I tried is in my father's company lah. I said, you guys use it for free. Of course, they say no, they don't want to use it for free. They don't believe in this thing. So,
even if it's free?
Even if it's free. No one wanted it. Even if it's free. So we went to 10, 20 companies. No one wants to use it, even if it's free. Then we go back to drawing board. Why people do not want to use our system? Then we realized the problem is actually very big. It's not as simple that I sell you a software, it can resolve. The issue is actually on the entire process. There's no good process now, and if you put everything under a system, you have visibility. Visibility means what? You're cutting off a lot of
hanky-panky.
Yes. Of course, the users will say, no, I don't want to use it. We went to one very big company. He said, yeah, I know your system is good, but I'm not going to use it. If I use it, my side people cannot cari makan already. If my people cannot cari makan, what will happen? Then I'm like,
wow.
Oh my God.
It's just an accepted way of the industry.
It was a shock to me. But
I mean, if you're the big boss, then of course you want to force everybody to use it, right? But then, further down.
Of course, we're talking about hanky-panky and corruptions, or not to say corruptions, but it's a fact.
Hustle.
Side hustles. There are a lot of side hustles going on. Last time you can afford and then with time change, then we started doing training. We give out training sessions.
Sorry. So let's go back to that, right? So you've been going around and people don't want to use it, right?
They don't want to use it.
So then?
Then we finally find some waterfish to use it lah. We found some waterfish company. We basically have to back. I had to back the director. Say, hey, what are you losing if the process fail? So what do you have to lose? If I am successful, potentially you can save up to 7 figures. I don't know whether you will save up to 7 figures, but you will be the first one. And I also quite honest. I said, it's very honest that you are going to be my first beta user. I don't know whether it will be successful or not. Many have already turned me down. If you give me opportunities, I will do a very good work for you. So the company decided, okay, so maybe kasihan me a bit. Then they decided to try.
Right.
Yeah. So they try it. From there, each and every request the company we make changes.
Right.
We do post-mortem. We actually keep the culture until today. Basically, we never simply build. We always ask, why is this process not good enough? How can I improve? What are things you want to see? And then we make changes on that. Then we improve the product. First year of having the first companies, we managed to get 3 companies to use it. These 3 companies, each and every request each one of them ask, we will go to the other 2 companies to ask, are you facing this same problem?
Right.
And then we get their feedback. A lot of people hated it. Purchaser hate the system, QS hate the system, side people hate the system initially. Then each and every request we write down and then we make changes. I think even now we are still making a lot of changes. Last year alone, we upgraded the system 200 times. We push updates almost every week.
Wow.
Very, very fast. We just keep on building. So now we have 5 years of development. This is our 6 years of development time already. But the first we didn't sell the system until 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
I only left my dad's company 2.5 years ago. They kicked me out. I didn't leave. They kicked me out.
Go and do your software thing.
No, they want me to make a decision. One of the board of directors actually says, successor plan, they have to plan. they basically says it's not fair to the company that I am halfway here and halfway there. They give me a choice. They put down a package on the table, 7 figures package. If you decide to take over the company, this is going to be your future. You're looking at 7 figures. You are going to get the company shares. You are going to be breed as the next company directors, basically. Or you let go everything. You leave the company with nothing, and you go and do your thing. That was quite painful.
Yeah.
Because Speedbreak wasn't making a single cent, wasn't making money. I still remember there was this one time where my bank account only have 200 ringgit. Because even though I work in my dad's company, right, the salary was quite low. To him, I'm just learning. And then after...
You're just another staff lah.
Yes, it's just another stuff. There's no special treatment. And contractors' price is quite low. It's known in the market. Based on your experience. And plus, I'm not from the industry. They said they cannot treat me as an engineer. They have to pay me as a fresh grad training fee. So my salary when I started was only 3,000. Initially was 1,000 something. Then you increase up to... and then I'm like, hello, I'm a lawyer, okay? But they say...
But nothing to do with the construction.
Yeah. So, of course, then over the years, I also trained myself to become an arbitrator and also adjudicator. Then, of course, your value go up lah. But to them, you have to do it for free for the company. So, when they ask me to make the decisions, during that time, I have to... basically, I don't have any saving lah. You know, young people, right? So, no saving. I asked my partners, so how? Now we have 200 ringgit in our bank account. What do we do? Do we still want to try to do...
How big of a team was it at that time?
Just 2 of us.
Right, you and your partner.
Just me and my partner. Do we... What do we do? I look at my partner look at me. He was also working at a part-time thing, and then he decided to do full-time in Speedbreak after he got enough saving lah. So he has 6 figures of saving. I have nothing. I'm like, you may need to pay me some remuneration. Then my partner was like,
salary.
You were the one that got me into this. I didn't pay him any salary. When we started, he holds the company shares, I hold the company shares. He took a very big risk in joining me. It's basically, no one trusted us. No one thinks that we will make it. 3.5 years ago, 2.5 years ago, we decided it's time. We come out. So how do we make money? I had to do side hustle lah. So I took up adjudication course. Then I passed my exam. Then I was doing adjudication. So with AIS.
At least some income lah.
Yes.
On the side.
So with that income, I managed to then... Of course, after you're an adjudicator, you meet more contractors. They don't want your software, but they want your service.
Right.
They want you to help them chase back money. Right. So...
not exactly what you were planning, but
No. So I have this company where I went... A few companies, actually these companies, even they didn't use our software in the initial years, they actually helped us in building the company. For instance, there's this one swimming pool company. They're quite big. They didn't want us to use our software. They didn't believe in the software. They just say this software is not going to help me. I know better. But I need you to help me to do restructuring with your experience, how to do restructurings and how to chase back money, how to monitor payment. Actually, these are all in my system. You can just buy my system and then
No, they want you.
They want me to because of my experience, right?
Yeah.
Because I know constructions, I know law, and then I know a little bit of tech, and know processes. Yeah. Because in my dad's company, I worked as a site supervisor, purchaser, QS, and also project coordinator, and contract management lah. So basically, I handled everything.
Across the whole
everything.
thing, yeah.
I even work at the warehouse, so I can see how they do manufacturings. Basically fabrications. So my dad was quite smart in a way. My companies, the engineering team, before BIM came out, right? Before prefabrication came out, we were already using prefabrication method. Other people need 7 months to finish a project, right? We take 3 months to finish. During that time, I thought it's something very normal lah. But now when I go and see other companies, I realize actually, okay,
You were quite advanced, eh?
they are quite advanced. And the more company I met, the more advanced I think my father's companies is, even until today. So after I left the company, initially they wanted a clear cut lah. But you can never clear cut with your own blood one lah. So I was still using the company's facilities such as like pen, photocopy machine, office space.
You still sneaked in lah.
I still sneak in. And then I had lunch in the office. I don't have to pay for lunch. Yeah, that kind of things. We don't have an office initially. We were working in a cafe. That's how we started. Initially, our app was not called Speed Break. It was called Kafa. Project Kafa, we call it. Because in Damansara, there was uptown, there was a cafe named called Kafa. We started the business there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and then now the cafe already
It's gone.
gone.
Ayo, poor thing. But anyway, so you had your first 3 customers and you helped further develop. Then how did you start getting paying customers?
After the 3 customer, then we didn't learn how to negotiate pricing. So we charge like 1 year 1,000. No one want to buy. Then we say 1,000 cannot sell. Then we ask.
So help me understand. The software itself for the construction industry to use it is like by project, is it? Or is it something that a company will adopt all the way through?
We tried multiple pricing. Right now, what we do is it's per project, it's per company basis.
Okay.
Many construction software is per project basis. I personally think that per project basis software is where the problems happens. Because you have to relearn new software every time you have a new project. And then sometimes when you have a choice, right, you can decide whether you want to use a software or you don't want to use a software. Transformations couldn't happen. So now for us, other software company will charge per user license, hosting maintenance. For us, we charge a group license. We are a bit unique. Basically, it's per company, one price based on tier basis. So the bigger you are, the more you pay. Because you'll get more value. The smaller you are, the little you pay, you get significant value as well. So depending on, client are happy now. They are more happy. But it took us about 3 years to figure out this thing. We tried one per annum pricing, per month pricing. It doesn't work. Per module pricing also doesn't work. So right now we have a sweet spot where company, and also because we have more modules now. Last time we only have material management, which is not, they don't think there's, the problem with the system is that material management is used by employee. Employer doesn't see the benefit in the system. So if employer are not using the system, they wouldn't want to pay. I don't know how you're helping me. I'm a director. I want to buy a software that I can use. Then we ask clients, how can I improve the product so that you will buy from me? What are the problems that you're facing? We write down, and then we then develop a new product called Echo, Speedbreak Echo, which is monitoring their contract and claim. So I'm a constructions law background. So I understand that it's important for contractors to monitor their important deadlines, such as your contract completion date, your CMGD, and also your DLP. This is technical terms and important deadlines to make sure you get paid on time. And also that when you want to get paid on time, right? During that time is where SIPA Act was being came out.
Which is?
Construction Industry Payment Adjudication Act. So basically, the Parliament have to come up with an act because the payment in the construction industry was so bad.
Right. People are not getting paid lah.
Many contractors are not getting paid. So it impacted their cash flow. I was specialist in chasing money. So after years of experience, when I first job after I learned how to run projects in my dad's company, the next thing I learned is how to chase money. So I chased back all 10, 20 years of bad debt.
Right.
So I helped my dad's company chase back a lot of money. And then there was this project that 7 figures, they thought it was impossible I would be able to chase back. The client actually says, I'm only willing to pay you 300,000. But in the end of the day, I chased back 4.5 million for the project.
How do you do that?
Paperwork. It's paperwork. Contractors, they are very bad at paperwork.
Okay.
In order for you to get paid, each payment needs to be justifiable. It's very simple. You must have an instructions. Why do you need to be paid on this? Common sense. You need to have an instructions, and then you need to also be able to tell me what are your rate before you do the work. If you didn't tell me, how do I know I need to pay you?
So, but there are some. So, sounds like there's companies who take advantage of that, lah. That, you know, since you don't give it to me, I'm not going to pay you.
It's actually under the contract. Contracts in Malaysia, most of the high-rises building, they uses a contract called PAM contract. Is from Architect Center. PAM is an architect center, so they use PAM contract. Inside PAM contract, it says that if you want to claim for variation order, or you want to claim for notice of delay, you want to claim for delay, you must give me a notice. So the notice, they actually says you have to give me a notice within how many days. If you did not give me a notice that you want to claim me for this money, you are not entitled to claim for this money. It's written. So many contractors die here lah. So what they do is, after they do final claim, finish project already, only boss, I want to be paid. How are you going to get paid on this? No paperwork, no photograph, no nothing, no instructions, no one sign, just based on verbal. A lot of verbal going on.
I guess fair also lah, right? On the guy who's paying.
Fair or not fair, depends lah.
I guess.
Depends on which position you are.
Yeah.
So the industry is very manual. Because it's actually, you look at it, right? Contractors are at the bottom of the food chain. We have developers. Above the developers are the buyers and the bankers. Developers, then with a professional consultants. You have professionals, architect, consultants, quantity surveyors. Then you have main contractors, usually big, usually huge. Their turnover are usually 7, 8 or 9 figures. And then you have subcontractor level 1, subcontractor level 2, subcontractor level 3, subcontractor level 4, and then you have labours, and then you have suppliers.
Right.
So contractors are at the bottom of the food chain. Subcon are the worst lah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So construction industry is very messy. In the end of the day, we realized directors are not going to pay us for the system that we built if it doesn't benefit the directors. Then we started interviewing directors. So directors, what actually do you want?
And you're talking about directors of the construction
Yes.
contractors lah.
Contractors, construction companies. We were being approached by many other industry like the manufacturing and also developers to ask us to build something for them. Easier to get paid also. But we are quite focused because we think the industry needs help. In terms of construction industry, you can't find good solutions today. We are quite proud that where we are here, we are genuinely helping. After interviewing the directors, I'm very thankful with my clients because they pointed us to the right directions. So we built a main contract and claim solutions, and then they said it's not enough. Even though you have a main contract and claim solutions, and you have a material management, it's not enough. Then we asked, what do you want? I want subcon management. So you see, one main con, they may have 100 or 200 subcontractors for one project. So monitoring all the subcon is very difficult. So how do I know which subcon I need to pay? How do I know which subcon have already been paid? I don't know. So how do I know that the money I take from my client is enough to pay my subcon? Today is all manual. So we then develop another module called Echo Plus. We do subcontractors contract and claim management. So we monitor each. You have so many subcons, right? We monitor each and every deadlines. So the moment one delay, you know. And then we also monitor how much you issue the contract to them, how much you are certifying to them. So we learn our lesson. So this time we no longer build a data entry system. We know that data entry will fail. So we build a system where QS can generate a subcontractor certificate through the system. It becomes part of their daily work. So it's not data entry. So when your QS is working with the system, directors get report in real time.
Then they are happy lah.
So now directors also say not enough. They say, what? Not enough again? Then they said, I want to see report. They want colorful reports. Then we build colorful reports. We build.
Yeah.
So
But at least this is a good conversation to have, lah, right? At least they want more.
they never know what they want. They always know what they don't want. So we have to do a lot of validation. So after we build the dashboard, we have guiding principles now. Because our oldest users are 71 years old now, right? So we said all the system we built must be able to use by a 70-year-old uncle.
Right.
Then it must help directors, because director cannot see benefit, they wouldn't pay. So it must, employee needs to want to use it. Employee need to love us, because if employee are not using, it become white elephant. The company will also not pay. It must solve a problem, because if it's nice to have, no one will use it. It's also defeated the purpose.
Yeah.
And then most importantly, it must help with sales. Meaning when I present this to a director, directors must have the urge, oh, I want you, like that. So now we have a guiding principle on how we build the system and how we enhanced it.
Right. So I had two questions. I've forgotten one. But one was, did you get back to your dad's company now? Are they using it too?
They wanted to. I am not selling yet.
For not exy already.
They will take their time. If they want to use, it's not going to be free. They have to pay what my other clients are paying. Transformations is a process. You don't expect, and we also learn our lesson. We are not selling software anymore. We basically are selling you the entire transformations package. From streamlining the way you work, meaning identifying your entire company's workflow. We give you a best practice workflow, or we suit the system into your existing workflow. We fix all the frictions. We come in, we will do due diligence in your company, and we tell you what are the frictions. For instance, how do you do site transfer? So do you after you finish a project, do you bring back material from your site to your warehouse? Is it recorded today? If it's not recorded, how do you know how much money you spend in that project? Because material that you brought back needs to be taken out from the project. Or if you transfer material from one project to another project, the financial information need to be transferred.
Yeah.
How directors know how much money you are spending is based on report. So we fix the process, then only we talk about transformations.
Yeah, because it sounds like it's not as easy as, okay, I just want to digitize something, right? Because you are literally changing the way these companies operate.
Yes,
right?
yes. It's very significant. The changes. Recently, last month, we just completed a first month review. So our process right now is like that. I come into your company. It usually takes 3 to 6 months to implement the entire solutions. We are quite fast as compared to ERP. We are like a contractor's ERP solutions now, where we also link to their accounting software. We will do data download from your existing software, whatever, usually Excel Excel or your purchasing system. We do data download, and then we teach you how to clean up your data. Company with a lot of old data, they will struggle a little bit here. Data cleaning is very critical, because directors want to see a single source of truth. We guarantee single source of truth, meaning the data that you see, guarantee you can drill down to the raw data. Whatever you see is 100% accurate. No mistakes, no manipulations, no nothing. After that, we then do migrations, data migrations, and then training is personalized. Our training is very serious. It's not a one-round training. Training can take up to 3 to 6 months, depending on how big is the company. We will train site user. We will train QS separately. We will train purchaser. We will train director separately. Each people will be trained according to their own job scope. So they only need to know. Everyone in my system see different things. We are very different from other software now. If I am a site supervisor, I only see how to order material. I don't see how much money I make in this company, in this project. So we personalize the dashboard. Everyone see different things in the system, so we train them differently. Some company very fast, like KESB, Karma Engineering. We just found out they are the largest TMB main con.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know when I went in. So now I just found out. A consultant told me they are one of the largest TMB. They are also very fast. We actually managed implementation process within a month. So they went live within a month. after 1 month of using us, we then do measurement. We measure before using speed brake, what are the difference? After using speed brake, is there any improvement? For this particular company, they see 89% improvement.
89% improvement in terms of?
We measure a few things lah. We measure accountability. Accountability, they hit around 93% accountability. Accountability means that every single material I ordered have a record. Right now, many order that you order, the record is either on WhatsApp, email, or verbal.
Right.
So who order, you usually forget.
Yeah.
Let's say 3 years later, I ask you who ordered this material, you wouldn't
You
know.
never know lah.
Yeah. But with speed brake, your name will forever be there. You order material through the system, your name will be there. So we hit 93%. There are still some petty cash buying that happens. We try to eliminate this. So we actually give the company KPI one. After 1 month, we expect to see this. And one thing very slow in the industry is that after you order material, it usually takes multiple approval to approve the material form, the material request form. We managed to reduce for this particular company from 3 days to less than a day. So 3 days to within 10 minutes, 15 minutes, they can approve it. And then we also increase efficiency in terms of from the moment they order the material to PO got issued. Last time it would take around 5 to 7 days process flow. Now it take 1 to 3 days. Within 1 to 3 days. Our target is within 2 days. Yeah, that's our target, within 2 days. So we see very significant improvement.
So from the company itself standpoint, so it must take quite a few people then to implement this from company to company, right?
Whole company must use it.
So how big is your team now to deploy this?
My team right now, we have 11 people. Deployment, we segregate lah. Each deployment, I will park 5 people to take care of one company. 5 people, including someone must in charge of the data cleaning. Data cleaning is the most critical one. And then someone need to in charge of the training. Training, different people train differently. And the important training is the director's training and also the site supervisor's training. So once we train, and then our job only start when we do after system go live. That is the part where we have to monitor carefully, because if we are not careful, company will churn out from here. Because I don't see benefit, I will leave you.
Yeah.
Very simple as business standpoint. So after the company go live, for the first week we check the system every hours. We make sure they are not facing problem. And my business partner, my tech team, they built more than 200 robots to monitor whether there's bugs, whether someone are facing difficulties based on behavior lah. If we know they face difficulties, my customer service team will call and tell the uncle, hey uncle, stop clicking on that button, nothing will happen. And we inbuilt SOS button into the system.
Right.
When you face difficulties, you can click on the SOS button, we will call you.
Right.
And also after training, we will put you into a WhatsApp group. Hopefully the bosses are not inside. If the boss want to be inside, you can text me personally. My phone numbers are always available to my each and every of my client right now. I try to do onboarding and meet my clients as much as I can. So after that, we have to do review. Review is a part where I take it very seriously. My entire tech team and myself, we have to see after 1 month of this company using, are they healthy or not? So we have a measurement whether this company usage is healthy, or we call it traffic light system lah. If orange color means it's not healthy. Not healthy basically means when you have more than 10% of your user in the system not using the system. So how do we determine whether they are using the system or not is we track it based on numbers of login per day. So our track record is if you are using speed brake, every day you must log in at least one time, regardless of who you are.
Because you're doing your work, you have to log in,
yes,
right? Yeah.
Because in order for you to do your work, you must log in. If you are not logging in, why are you not logging in? Then we have to check whether sometimes companies, they like to put everyone in the system. We then have to explain to the company, only put the relevant parties lah. Like they put storekeeper inside. What do you expect a storekeeper to do, right? So we have things like that. We measure first month measurement, we will tell the company these are the areas that you need to improve. Then we do a 3 months measurement and 6 months measurement. Company, we only considered implementation considered successful after 6 months of implementations. Then only we give them a certificate. Yay, congratulations. Like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
So I remember the question I wanted to ask you.
Mhm.
So remember you said that a lot of people don't want to use the system
Yeah.
because of the transparency, right? So how did you overcome that?
Oh. This one is a little bit marketing lah. It's a marketing hype. Last time when we built the system, I was quite naive. I honestly think that when I build the system out, when the system is good, people will be queuing up to buy my software. I was wrong. People ask me, how much money do you have in your bank now? When are you going bankrupt? How do I know, after I use the system, how do I know you will not go bankrupt?
Yeah.
Very, very tough questions.
I'm a startup. I don't know. So
Yes. So some company, they like the system, but because we are startup, they don't want to use. Because very normal lah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
trust. Some big companies, especially public listed companies, they wouldn't use us because we are startup. But now it's a different story lah. How did we manage to resolve that is based on marketing. What was the question again?
the people on the ground who don't want to use the system because it's too transparent, right? Because they've got a lot of side hustle going on. Then
we changed our pitch. We tell them that this is a personal digital assistance for you. It's not supposed to give you. We change the negativity lah. So when we do our pitch now, we say, your boss is buying you an assistant. Wouldn't you want a digital assistant? This assistant will help you do everything.
to make your life easier.
Yes.
Not to track you.
Yes. So then we do a comparison in front of them. If you use WhatsApp, you type, right? You want to buy material, right? You have to type the name out. But with my system, it's click, 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 It's one touch system. My clients, my assistant user actually says that we are a one touch system.
Right.
So after they see us, now we managed to make a site supervisor happy, QS happy. QS love us now. Purchaser also love us very much. The only directors now, last time they hated us because director need to pay us, right?
Yeah.
But after we have the dashboard, now they love us. Now they ask us to build more reports. Now they ask us to build KPI. I want to see who is not working. Directors are control freak, by the way.
But it's good, huh? It's good for you guys.
We have to balance a bit lah.
Yeah lah.
Because
other than the user not gonna.
Yeah, employee
like
needs
it,
to
right?
be
The
happy
employees,
using the
yeah.
system. The directors need to be happy. We need to make sure everyone is happy.
To balance.
So it's a balancing act, yes. So now the only parties that are not happy is the CFO, the accounts. So we have to figure out how to make them happy as well. There's a long journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think any system can help fix that lah. But at least they know what the picture is lah.
The only system, we sometimes we tell our directors, boss, what system do you have now? You only have human system and Excel system. Excel system is basically human system. Or if they have second generation, we then ask the boss, you're going to retire soon, right? Do you want to leave a mess to your second generation? Or do you want a nice and changil company for your second generation? So, sales pitch lah.
Yeah lah.
Sales pitch. Yeah.
Hey, it's over an hour.
Time flies.
Time flies.
Yes.
It's fascinating to see how you've gone so far. So I guess my last question, as in closing, really is: so what next for you guys, lah? What next for you?
We are government came. CIDV subsidiaries, PCISM, the National Cost Center. The government right now, they are building up a National Cost Center. They are compiling all the building materials data, how history trend in the entire Malaysia based on locations. So they want to integrate with us, so to give more benefit to contractors.
Okay.
We already agree to that. We will be announcing this month. March, right? Yeah, we'll be announcing. The announcement will come out soon. Once the integrations is done, we will then use more analytic and data analysis. Basically, analyze more data, what's going on. Building the product, we already have 2 years of roadmap. In terms of business growth, we are also being invited to Singapore. So overseas expansions are in talks. Right now, we have prospects from all over the 6 countries right now. We were not ready. We will try to work towards the readiness over there. And we were not not excited to keep on pushing for growth yet. We want to build more system and then help more contractors. So next is to make sure all contractors are happy and get more contractors to be on board with digitizations. I think for this year, our job is to be very focused, close sales, make sure we solve the problems, build more products, and then next year we will focus on very heavily on expansions.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Cool. So perhaps maybe end of the year we'll catch up again and then
Yes,
see how
yes,
far you get to, eh?
yeah, hopefully we are there. Hopefully.
Oh, sounds like you've got the drive for it, so I don't think
Yeah, hopefully.
only and you know, I guess the market's opening up again, things should be picking up, you think?
Actually, MCO helped us a lot. Our sales picked up a lot.
Why do you think that was?
Because company want to cut people, ma.
Be more efficient.
No, they want to see how much money they are making and losing now. It's more critical now for you to manage your cost because last time you may have 2 digit of profit. Now we're looking at 1 digit, single digit profit, or maybe close to 15 to 18% profit. You want to maintain your profit. How do you know you are maintaining the profit? Without data, you are
You just
making
can't.
decision blindly.
Well, or like your dad used to do lah, right? He can feel it lah.
My target is when my parents, my dad's company's board of directors actually ask us to do a presentations and want to buy, that's a success lah. That's a personal
And then
thing
you
lah.
need to take out your report the first time. Do you remember this report? 69 pages many
Hey, I
years
still
ago.
have that report with me. We still joke around lah. You know, actually this kind of ideas, how to run a construction company, it didn't come from me. I have to thank my parents' companies, my dad's companies, where the foundations come from there.
Sure.
Then I thank my legal knowledge as well, and then my legal enhancement and also technologies. Now we met so many contractors. Every contractors are my product manager. They basically tell me I want this, I want this, I want this.
Yeah, all the new features. Because
Last year we launched 200. Yeah. This year we will build a new product. We'll build more new product instead of upgrading because it's already there lah. Yeah.
Okay lah.
Thank you so
Alright, man.
much for
Thanks a
today.
lot. All the best.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thanks.